An Arsenal legend is speculating that the Gunners already have an agreement for a new striker, while a former player of the club has been diagnosed with a deathly disease 1 month after joining his new club. This is all the latest news about Arsenal Football Club on Now Arsenal. Yes, former Arsenal forward Lucas Perez has been sidelined indefinitely after being diagnosed with active tuberculosis just weeks after signing for PSV Eindhoven. The Dutch club confirmed the news, assuring that no other squad members have been affected. The 36-year-old, who joined PSV last month on a short-term deal following his fourth stint at Deportivo La Coruña, is currently in quarantine. It remains uncertain whether he will feature again this season as Peter Bosch's side continues their pursuit of the Eredivisie title, trailing leaders Ajax by 6 points. PSV have taken immediate steps to contain any potential risk, working closely with public health authorities to implement contact tracing and ensure standard health protocols are followed. In an official statement, the club said, "One PSV player has been diagnosed with active tuberculosis. The player in question is doing well under the circumstances. Although the chance of further infection is small, the situation is being closely monitored according to GGD standard protocols." The club added that all necessary precautions have been taken, including informing those who may have been in contact with Perez. Pulmonologist Pascal Wilders explained that while tuberculosis is an infectious disease that primarily affects the lungs, the risk of transmission remains low, particularly in open-air environments. PSV have assured that it will continue to support Perez during his recovery while requesting privacy for the player. Any significant updates will be communicated through the club's official channels. Perez, who signed for Arsenal in 2016, struggled to make an impact in North London, scoring just once before being loaned back to Deportivo. He later joined West Ham in 2018 but lasted only a season before returning to Spain. We wish Perez a speedy recovery and hope everything is alright with him in his battle with that insidious disease that, although no longer common, is still extremely dangerous. On the other hand, an Arsenal legend made his take on Arsenal's future striker and why he thinks that a striker has already been agreed on. Yes, former defender Martin Keown publicly announced his words, speculating that one of Alexander Isak or Benjamin Sesko has been worked on behind the scenes, as he even tipped the scales in favour of the Newcastle man. The Gunners have suffered from an injury crisis in attack this season, which has derailed parts of their campaign. Recently, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz have all been unavailable. Mikel Arteta is determined to make sure the same mistakes don't happen next season. I just feel with Isak, now Newcastle won that trophy, it's going to be even more difficult to get him away from there. The whole world is on him. It's about finding these players before everybody else does. Moreover, there's a new director of football now. You've got to go after the players to get some free transfers. You can't just keep spending money on the obvious Declan Rice, but you can be certain this summer they will be buying a striker, without doubt. I would suggest that there is already a player bought, and it's already done from an Arsenal point of view. They won't make that mistake again. Yes, we definitely could agree with Martin Keown because, indeed, Arsenal often work just like that. It's been reliably reported in the past that the management does the majority of their groundwork months before a signing is officially announced. And let me give you a simpler example. Initial contact by Mikel Arteta with Declan Rice happened over a year before he became an Arsenal player. It wouldn't be a surprise if the same situation is happening right now with a new centre-forward ahead of next season. However, one striker that has been linked with Arsenal last summer, but rumours have diminished in the last months, is Victor Gyökeres. The hot news about him right now is that he's reached a verbal agreement with Sporting regarding a potential summer transfer. The Swedish international is expected to be allowed to leave if an offer in the range of 50.2 million to 58.5 million is received during the upcoming transfer window. This development will come as a significant boost to clubs monitoring his situation, including Arsenal, as the agreed figure is notably lower than his £83.6 million release clause. Gyökeres' form has been exceptional, with 40 goals in 41 appearances this season, following a remarkable tally of 43 in 50 during the previous campaign. Portuguese outlet Abola has suggested that Gyökeres favours a move to Liverpool, Arsenal or Manchester City over Manchester United, despite his connection with Red Devils manager Ruben Amorim. Meanwhile, Sweden head coach Jon Dahl Tomasson has expressed confidence in Gyökeres's ability to thrive at the highest level. Ahead of Sweden's match against Northern Ireland, Tomasson stated, "Gyökeres would be fantastic in the Premier League. He could play for any club in the world and would score a lot of goals anywhere. He and Isak are two quite different players, but they're both world-class strikers." And before we finish, we have some interesting statements from Declan Rice for you. After the 3-0 win over Latvia in European qualification, Rice revealed that the best young footballer in England, and the curious thing is that he's not even talking about Ethan Nwaneri or Miles Lewis-Skelly. No, his name is Max Dowman, and Rice described him as the best 15-year-old in the country and urging the prodigious talent to maintain his dedication in order to fulfil his potential at the club. Despite being just 15 years old, Dowman has already begun training with Mikel Arteta's senior squad at London Colney. His rapid rise has been fueled by impressive performances at youth level, where he has consistently excelled against older opponents. The highly rated youngster first made headlines in September when he sensationally became the youngest player to score in the Youth League at just 14 years, 8 months and 19 days. Coached by Arsenal legend Jack Wilshere, Dowman has been fast-tracked through the academy ranks, with Wilshere endorsing his ability to step up and compete at higher levels. Dowman, a left-footed attacking midfielder, has continued his meteoric ascent, breaking records as the youngest ever player to feature in the Premier League 2 competition in December. His talent has also been recognised on the international stage with appearances for England's under-17 side. Most recently, he was invited to join Arsenal's warm-weather training camp in Dubai, where Rice has taken him under his wing alongside fellow young talents Lewis-Skelly and Nwaneri. Speaking to BBC Radio, Rice shared his admiration for Dowman but also emphasised the challenges ahead. "I have had so many texts about Max recently," Rice said. "At 15, there is such a long way to go. You can be the best 15-year-old in the country, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be the same at 18. So you need to be hungry, keep working and keep pushing. I speak to Max a lot and he has got such a good family around him. He is unreal." Rice, who himself experienced the highs and lows of youth football after being released by Chelsea before establishing himself at West Ham and then Arsenal, understands the difficulties of breaking into senior football. The 26-year-old has made a conscious effort to support Dowman, Lewis-Skelly and Nwaneri, forming close relationships with them to help guide their development. "I have a great relationship with all 3 of them because Max gets to train with us quite a lot. I have kind of taken these 3 under my wing because I've been in that position before and I had older players to help me out. I get on well with all of them and they're really comfortable around me, which is all part of having a good relationship." And with all that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe to Now Arsenal and check more information on our media channels, the NowArsenal.com website and our socials across Instagram, Twitter and Facebook you can find in the description below. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video when we bring you more news on Arsenal Football Club.